And let's start off by getting you details of Rihanna's tweet. The international pop star has put out a tweet as India's farmers' protest is now catching the eye of international celebrities. Rihanna's backed the farmers' agitation in a tweet on Thursday evening, sharing an article on the suspension of internet around New Delhi's borders. Rihanna questioned why the issue hasn't been spoken about. Rihanna's tweet on the farmers' protest got more than 35,000 retweets and 60,000 favorites within just an hour. Soon after the pop star's tweet, Kangana Ranaut called Rihanna a fool and claimed that the protests are not being spoken about because the farmers are terrorists. Environmental activist Greta Thunberg also came out in support of the farmers while attaching a news story about internet shutdowns in Delhi. She said, and I quote here, "We stand in solidarity with the farmers' protest in India." India Today has also accessed images of the 12 vandals involved in the violence that broke out on Republic Day in the national capital. In the pictures that you see on your screens there, these 12 men can be seen holding sticks and other makeshift weapons. The cops have used video analytic techniques to identify these dozen men after scoring through multiple videos of the Republic Day violence. The Delhi police is now trying to identify them using facial recognition system. This comes amid a report that's been submitted by the Home Ministry in Parliament stating that protesters had resorted to rioting, damaged government property and used criminal fare to deter cops from discharging their duties. Another important development expected later today is that the Supreme Court is going to be hearing a batch of pleas filed in connection with the violence during the January 26 tractor rally. A bench headed by Chief Justice of India S.A. Bobde will hear the petitions. One of the petitions filed by lawyer Vishal Tiwari has sought the setting up of a 3-member probe panel led by a former Apex Court judge and 2 retired High Court judges. Another petition calls for an NIA investigation into the Republic Day violence, and this is a third petition filed by Advocate Manohar Lal Sharma, who sought a direction to the concerned authority as well as the media not to declare these farmers as terrorists without any evidence. As far as the politics behind the farmer protest goes, the opposition is, of course, throwing its weight behind the protesting farmers despite the Republic Day violence. The parliament witnessed massive ruckus yesterday after opposition demanded a debate on the farms day. Expect more of that to happen today.
Pandemonium in Parliament. The farm law showdown that has brought the capital on the edge reached Lok Sabha on Tuesday. As soon as the proceedings of the House began, the opposition members stood up, demanding a debate on the contentious agricultural reforms.
170 के आसपास किसानों की जान गंवाने पर ही आंदोलन तैयार है ना वार्ता करने। लेकिन सर यही तो हम चाहते हैं, सारे जो बिजनेस अब रख रहे हैं इसके पहले शुरुआत तो कीजिए, ये किसान आंदोलन की मुद्दे के ऊपर चर्चा शुरू कीजिए, बाकी सारे प्रेसिडेंट बाद में हो सकता। लेकिन सर किसान की जो मुद्दा है सर, आज किसान के ऊपर जिस ढंग से अत्याचार हो रहे हैं, लगता है कि हम ब्रिटिश जमाने में पहुंच गए हैं। सर ये ब्रिटिश जमाना महसूस हो रहे हैं, ये नारेबाजी और तख्तियां।
As the showdown continued, Agriculture Minister Narendra Tomar attempted to pacify the opposition members.
सदस्य अगर किसानों के बारे में चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं, तो सरकार सदन के भीतर भी और सदन के बाहर भी हमेशा चर्चा के लिए तैयार रही है। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपने भी आग्रह किया, अगर आज प्रश्नों पर चर्चा होती तो मैं समझता हूं आधी चर्चा पूरी हो गई होती, लेकिन सदस्यों ने ध्यान नहीं दिया है। ये सदन का समय बर्बाद हो रहा है।
ये सदन वाद विवाद चर्चा के लिए है।
The opposition was unfazed and adamant on its demand for an instant debate on the new laws that were passed by Parliament last year.
Item number 18, Dr. Mahesh Sharma ji.
The uproar prompted Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla to adjourn the House multiple times.
सभा की कार्रवाई को 7 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
I got your point, please.
The story was no different in Rajya Sabha, where the opposition staged a walkout demanding a debate. Away from Parliament, opposition leaders are flocking to the farmer protest sites on Delhi's borders. Shiv Sena MPs, including Sanjay Raut, were the latest to join the farmers.
26 तारीख के बाद जिस तरह से यहाँ दहशतवाद हो गया, यहाँ जिस तरह से सबको कुचलने की कोशिश की हमारे किसानों को, टिकैत साहब को, तो हमको लगा कि हमारी ये जिम्मेदारी बनती है, हमारा कर्तव्य बनता है महाराष्ट्र के लोगों का कि उनके साथ खड़े रहे, उनको हमारी संवेदना दे और कहे कि पूरा राज्य, पूरी शिवसेना, उद्धव ठाकरे साहब और हम सब उनके साथ हैं।
With politics escalating over the new farm laws, Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh has thrown his weight behind the protesters accused of violence. The Punjab government has arranged a team of 70 lawyers who will fight the cases of farmers booked by Delhi police for Republic Day violence. With farmer stir getting a new lease of life, politics seems only to be escalating. Bureau Report, India Today.
So the farmers' protest against the 3 farm laws has now entered its 70th day, and the BKU chief Rakesh Tikait, who's essentially been leading this agitation, will be visiting Haryana's Jind district to hold a Khap Mahapanchayat in Kandela village and to chalk out measures to intensify the farmer protest that's been raging at Delhi's borders. Farmers from various areas have started arriving ahead of the crucial Mahapanchayat meet. Tikait's visit comes just hours after he had proclaimed that farmers are in no mood to relent and are clearly ready for the long haul. His visit comes at a time when farmer protest sites have been fortified using barricades, using barbed wires, along with roads studded with iron spikes in the run-up to the Chakka Jam announced by farmers on February 6th, and to avoid a rerun of the Republic Day violence which happened during a tractor rally led by these farmers. So the Kisan have called for a Chakka Jam on 6th February, a call that's prompted the Delhi police to turn the 3 border protest points into virtual fortresses. Nails have been embedded into roads. You've got trenches that have been dug, concrete barricades also that have been erected. Here's the latest on the mega border showdown.
Barricades, barbed wires, roads studded with nails, triple layer of concrete roadblocks and hundreds of security personnel. This is the Ghazipur border that has turned into the latest epicenter of the farmer protest after an emotional appeal by BKU leader Rakesh Tikait. The number of farmers joining the protest is only increasing. The police, in a bid to stop any repeat of Republic Day violence, have turned this protest site into a fortress with 6 layers of security. The BSF is in charge of the first layer. They are deployed where cemented barricades are placed. In the second layer, barbed wires, trenches and nails have been used. The third layer has Delhi police along with CRPF and ITBP keeping vigil. The fourth layer comprises of large barricades made of cement and iron. Large trucks and trolleys have been parked as 5th layer of security. The final layer is of a barbed fence. The farmers aren't happy about it.
ये सारी नाकामी है सरकार की। कोई हम टेररिस्ट आतंकवादी हैं क्या? हम तो अन्नदाता हैं, कमाते हैं, औरों को भी खिलाते हैं। हम भी समझ गए। अब सरकार हमारे से डर रही। सरकार अब खुद समझ रही मैं क्या गलत कर रही, क्या सही कर रही। अब सरकार की आंखों में खुद डर है हमारा।
इतनी बुद्धि लोग कि मार 10 रोक कर रखेंगे। किसने बुद्धि ली? सरकार नहीं है ये। सरकार का काम ही नहीं है।
Barely a kilometer away from where the protest is taking place, barbed wires have been put up at the Ghazipur border. The police is on its heel. The administration is leaving no stone unturned to barricade and fortify the entire area. Barricades have been put up along with the barbed wires. Heavy police deployment. Police personnel are present wearing riot gear. The administration does not want the farmers to move from the site and enter the national capital.
Singhu border isn't any different. Here, iron rods have been placed between 2 rows of cement barriers to restrict the movement of protesters towards the capital.
this is the area where the Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee stage, that is the smaller stage towards the Delhi side, stands, and this is the fifth line of barricading before the Kisan protest begins. Behind the stage is a 200-meter long no man's land which has been taken over by the security forces, and after that is another line of heavy barricading, including containers and concrete barricading that divides the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha stage, which is on the Haryana side. No media person is being allowed to go any further from this particular line of barricading.
Similar security measures have been undertaken at the Tikri border as well.
किसानों ने दिल्ली में मार्च किया था, जमकर हिंसा हुई थी। उसके बाद दिल्ली पुलिस ने टिकरी बॉर्डर पर देखिए इस तरीके से जो नुकीली चीजें हैं वो यहाँ पर गाड़ दी हैं। पूरा जो ये टिकरी बॉर्डर है हर तरफ इसी तरीके की जो नुकीली कील है उसको सड़क पर गाड़ दिया है, ताकि अगर कोई ट्रैक्टर मार्च होता है या गाड़ियां लेकर टिकरी बॉर्डर से दिल्ली की तरफ जब किसान जो प्रदर्शन में बैठे हैं वो आगे की तरफ बढ़े तो वो जो गाड़ी है वो पंचर हो जाए।
As fortification increases, farmer leaders have assured they won't move towards Delhi.
हमें दिल्ली जाना ही नहीं, ये तो जनता के रास्ते में कील लगाई इन्होंने कि जनता ना जा सके। जितने जनता के रास्ते बंद होंगे, जनता को सब पता कि कौन बोल नहीं रहे, पता सबको, सब मिलते हैं हमसे।
The authorities, however, aren't taking any chances following the Republic Day mayhem.
हमने क्या किया है? हमने उस बैरिकेड को मजबूत किया है, सिर्फ मजबूत किया है ताकि बारंबार उसको तोड़ा ना जाए।
The six-layer security comes on top of a blanket ban on internet at all 3 farm protest sites in Delhi. Bureau Report, India Today.
Over to the latest updates coming in from port-bound Tamil Nadu, where the Jaya Memorial in Chennai has been shut down by the AIADMK government. Again, all about the timing, because a week after it was inaugurated by the Chief Minister, it's been shut down, citing pending work by the government. Speculation, however, is rife that the move is linked to Jayalalitha's aide, VK Sashikala's return to Chennai. Sashikala's team has said that she wishes to go to the memorial of Jayalalitha after she enters Chennai, and the move will be seen as Sashikala's attempt to claim the legacy of Amma. To stop that, it looks like the memorial has been closed. And the Amma and MGR memorials, which are right next to each other at the Marina Beach, are hugely symbolical for the AIADMK vote base. With Sashikala's release, it may allow her to shore up support and then to clean up her image and then show herself as the heir apparent of Jaya's legacy. The rift, meanwhile, within the AIADMK is widening with Sashikala. A day after AIADMK's KP Munnuswamy said that if an expelled leader apologizes, he or she can be taken back into the party. Tamil Nadu Minister Jayakumar has trashed the claim, saying only statements of EPS and OPS on Sashikala or otherwise are valid.
அதாவது ஒரு கட்சியில் தவறு செய்துவிட்டு கட்சியை விட்டு வெளியேற்றுகின்றவர்களை தன் தவற்றை உணர்ந்து மன்னிப்பு கோரி அந்த மன்னிப்பு கடிதம் கொடுத்தால் தலைமை அவர்கள் மீது நம்பிக்கை வைக்கின்ற பட்சத்தில் மீண்டும் அவர் கட்சியில் சேர்த்துக் கொள்வார்கள். இது இந்த இயக்கத்தினுடைய மரபு. அந்த மரபின் வாயிலாக வேண்டுமென்றால் டிடிவி தினகரன் நான் செய்ததெல்லாம் தவறு, மன்னித்து விடுங்கள், என்னை மீண்டும் இந்த கட்சியில் ஒரு தொண்டனாக இணைத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள் என்று ஒரு வருத்தம் தெரிவித்து ஒரு கடிதத்தை கொடுத்தால் அந்த கடிதத்தின் மீது தலைமை முடிவெடுக்கும்.
If TTV apologizes, will you forgive him?
See, already we have taken stand, a clear stand, that TTV or Sasikala or their family members, without their interference, we will run the party, and entire Tamil Nadu only depend on the party people, that too from party, that is unit, no Clay Chela to headquarters secretary, not Sasikala, TTV or any other else.
The 13th edition of Aero India 2021 is all set to start in Bengaluru's Yelahanka Air Base from today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate the 3-day-long event. The Indian Air Force, the Army, the Navy, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and the Coast Guard will be participating in the event. Here's our report on what to watch out for in this edition of the Aero India show.
Ripping up the air over beautiful Bengaluru, a shining light in the middle of the global pandemic. and India has shown the way once again with Aero India 20. While globally air shows and defense exhibitions have been called off, India has once again lit the path. Kicking off today at the Yelahanka Air Force Base in Bengaluru, this year's Aero India is very special. A hybrid air show. Shortened to 3 days instead of the traditional 5, public days have been dropped in view of the virus. But that doesn't mean the aerial splendor is taking a hit. As you can see in these images, Aero India 2021 will be every bit as splendid as earlier episodes. Headlining the show this year, without a doubt, is the Tejas, India's very own combat jet that enters the record books today with a mammoth 48,000 crore rupee order for 83 jets. India's biggest ever indigenous defense contract. The jet will be a huge draw at the show this year as well.
Mark 1A, indigenous तो है ही, और साथ ही साथ अपने इक्विवेलेंट जितने भी हमारे विदेशी एयरक्राफ्ट हैं, उनसे कई मामलों में यह मजबूत भी है और साथ ही यह बेहतर भी है। जितने भी इसके स्पेसिफिकेशन हैं, चाहे वह इंजन हो, राडार सिस्टम हो, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वारफेयर सूट हो, हर मामले में कंपैरेटिवली यह बेटर एयरक्राफ्ट है और कास्ट के मामले में भी कंपैरेटिवली हमारे तेजस की यह कास्ट कम रहेगी। यह भी हमारा एक मेजर अचीवमेंट है।
The show will be taking Atmanirbhar Bharat very seriously, with India's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited all set to flaunt its indigenous aircraft in a beautiful Atmanirbhar formation, which involves a Tejas flying with HTT-40 trainers, the HJT-36 intermediate jet trainer, and a Hawkeye advanced jet trainer upgraded with Indian tech. Of huge interest and significance at this year's Aero India is this unusual looking aircraft called the CATS Warrior. This is an unmanned bomber drone being designed to fly in conjunction with Indian fighter jets as a collaborative loyal wingman system where the pilot controls not just his jet but also the drone. The indigenous light combat helicopter will be another major draw, seen this year shortly after being deployed on active operations in Ladakh during the current standoff with China. The show will of course include the splendid Surya Kiran Hawk aerobatics team, which will enthrall viewers with a 9-aircraft formation set. They'll be quickly followed by their sister team, the Sarang. The Dhruv helicopter display team Sarang, now an international fixture with a global fan base, will rev it up over Yelahanka once again. The Indian Air Force's brand new Apache and Chinook helicopters will be visible on the ground and in the air at the show, as will be 3 Rafale jets specially flown in to delight several viewers seeing the jets in the flesh for the first time. From aviation geeks to defense practitioners, from foreign governments to scientists building India's aerospace base, it's the week they've all been waiting for. Aero India begins. With Abhishek Bhalla in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India.
And joining us live on Fest Up is our executive editor, Shiv Arur. Shiv, good morning. One of the big headlines and the highlights of, in fact, the Aero India show is going to be the deal for the Tejas jets. And give us a sense of really how important this deal is, how it compares to the present jets like the MiGs or the Rafale.
Well, the deal being signed today is the biggest single indigenous defense contract in India's history, and that's saying a lot. All defense deals are large, but this one is staggeringly big. 48,000 crore rupees for 83 LCA Tejas fighters, fully indigenous fighter aircraft, is a huge thing. It's taken a while to actually come here. The Tejas first flew, almost 2 decades ago in 2001. In fact, the name Tejas was given to this fighter by then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and now 2 decades later, you're seeing the aircraft receive its biggest order. The aircraft, I have to tell you, is already in service. It's been in service since 2016 when it started entering an Indian Air Force squadron in Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, and now 83 more of these aircraft, will be ordered as part of this huge deal. It's going to have a rippling cascading effect across industry. It's going to make the Indian Air Force very, very happy. It's going to give them the incentive to invest in future versions of this aircraft, improved versions like the LCA Tejas Mark II, and then the what is called the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, which is a 5th generation aircraft. The more orders that come in, the more incentive there is within the system to create those new aircraft and begin to build them. So this huge contract for the Tejas is meaningful in more ways than I can possibly describe. For the Indian Air Force, for industry, for us young scientists and designers who are making the Tejas, improving it and making future aircraft, for all of them this is a huge day.
Right.
And they've been waiting for it for a very long time.
So a lot of excitement that I can make out, Shiv. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.